Hello, and welcome to the 184th edition of Beer Issues. My name is Matt Bruckert, and I'm coming to you here from Casa de Bruckert. We're going to be having another very good beer. Today, we are going to be having the Orange Blossom Brewing Back in the Day IPA. So, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about this beer while I'm pouring it to get it ready. Now, Back in the Day IPA is kind of like an old school name. The beer rates, according to Beer Advocate, an 84 out of 100, which makes it a good beer. The ABV on it, 6.4% alcohol by volume, so it's pretty standard for an IPA. And they actually call it an old school IPA, and there's a reason for that. I poured into this beautiful I Have Beer Issues glass that I have here. This is my IPA glass. Absolutely perfect head with very good retention. It's not cloudy, so it's not your typical, hazy type IPA. This is a standard old school IPA. And they only use 4 hops. They're not going to put 35 different hops in there and have some of them filtered, non-filtered, They're pretty much straight up on this old school stuff. And their motto is if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Okay? In other words, if you make a good solid IPA, old school, with just the right hops to give you the proper tropical flavors, why mess it up? And I will have to say I've noticed a lot with so many different New England style IPAs out there and all the different crazy hops that they're using, all of that. It's kind of refreshing to have just an old school IPA. So I'm pretty excited about having this. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, this is not my first time having this beer. I've had it before, I enjoyed it before, but this was brought to us by a friend of ours, Alvaro, who stopped by the Brew Hub, which I believe that's where they're making this beer at now, along with the normal Orange Blossom Pilsner, and one of my favorites, which we've done a Beer Issues on before, the OBP Squared. Okay, that's one of my old favorites. So great beer they're making. So let's go ahead, let's smell it. Let's see what we got here. Just a tropical, delightful smell. I don't get any bitterness in the smell. It's all the tropics. And it's because they're using the 4 C's when it comes to hops. They're using the Cascade, the Centennial, the Chinook, and the Columbus hops. So you're getting all like tropical smells from that. And I'm imagining, it's, if I remember right, you do get a tropical taste. But it's not a tropical taste like light. It's more of a good, strong tropical flavor that you would get from an IPA. Not piney and bitter, but a solid flavor. A lot of the thing is with these New England IPAs, and I like New England IPAs, so I'm not bad mouthing them because I do enjoy them. But some of them I've started noticing they get to almost like too sweet. They don't quite have enough flavor. That's why I tend to gravitate towards the like double IPAs and triple IPAs, because I like something a little bit more sturdy. I think some of the New England style, they've tried to make it so light in flavor, or light in that they could appeal to a larger mass, that they've lost a lot of the true IPA drinkers. I like the tropical flavors in IPA. So I like that when that comes through in my beer. Okay, so let's not waste any more time. Let's go ahead and take a sip here. Exactly like I remembered it. The smell follows the taste. So you're getting a nice, solid IPA. You get the tropical notes in there. And it finishes a slight bitterness, but not like a West Coast IPA, if you will. So I think they did an excellent job on this beer. So yeah, it's great. It's actually perfect because you're going right from that up front. You get the tropical fruit flavors, but it doesn't finish sweet. It finishes with just a light, and when I say light bitter, I mean it's a very just very mild bitterness that you get from the IPA and from the hops. So I think they did a beautiful job on this. And what I was saying about the New England style IPAs, I mean, they're just going to come across a little bit lighter and sweeter. And this is going to come kind of get you with the tropical right up front and then finish with a little bit of the bitter, okay? But not like overly bitter. Not like, sometimes you get IPAs or, you see West Coast IPAs. Sometimes those are like super bitter or piney. This is not that. This is a more tropical front, light bitter finish, but I think the balance of the two is absolutely perfect. And we've also talked before about the brew hub. And, they're basically the place when breweries either don't have a location or they don't have the capacity to handle the amount of beer that they sell. They can have it brewed at the brew hub. And I don't know all the particulars that go into it, but I don't think at this time Orange Blossom makes their beer anywhere but the brew hub. But I know we've talked before about different breweries like Cycle Brewing is another one that, because at their location, pretty much all they work on is their stouts, their barrel-aged stouts. So all their other beers, they just have brewed at the brew hub. And they have some good beers that they're brewing at the brew hub. Now, brew hub does have some of their own beers, but they do, many other beers. I'm not just going to list them all, but there's a lot of beers that they do. It's a neat place to go, the brew hub. It's in Lakeland, Florida. There's also a brew hub. I believe there's one in somewhere around the St. Louis area, I believe. And there's another one, I believe, out in Denver. I don't know if they're all related. I know the one here, or the one in Lakeland and the one in Denver are, part of the same group, I believe. I'm not sure about the one up in the St. Louis area, if that's a different company or not. Somebody told me it was, but it seems odd that they would have the same name because I looked it up and it said brew hub. So unless it's just everybody's sharing the same name, I don't know. Seems odd to me. But anyway, if you enjoyed this, make sure you check out some Orange Blossom Back in the Day IPA because it is a good one. You gotta like hops. If you're not a hop fan and you like something different, this wouldn't be for you because you're gonna get some hops in this. It's not overly hoppy, but it gives you enough hop flavor that it's enjoyable if you like the hops. So if you enjoyed it, tell your friends about Beer Issues. I challenge everybody out there to tell at least 2 people about Beer Issues that have never seen Beer Issues, and make sure they subscribe so everybody knows about how much fun we're having talking about beer and drinking great beer. And if you want any cool gear, Beer Issues gear like hats, t-shirts, go to shop.beerissues.com. And as my wife likes to say, I have beer issues.